I have a feeling that you've probably seen one of the videos of today's guest before. His videos are amazing. What he does is incredible. He basically takes songs by one artist and does them in a style of the other, you know, Britney Spears, Deftones. Take something that's like pop sensibility or something that you wouldn't imagine in this form and to this form, and he does it all himself.
If Korn wrote 1,000 miles.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, the faces pass and I'm homebound.
His name is Zach MacLachlan. He goes by the name Mac Glocky, and this is actually the second time that he will be returning to the Waterproof Records podcast. So I'm so happy to welcome him back today. If you've never seen his videos, just take a second right now, go look him up. I'll link it in the YouTube description below. Go watch one because you're really going to have a great time in this conversation if you have a little idea about what it is that he has created for himself over the past few years on social media, because he really has put in a lot of hard work and it shows. But he's a really great guy, and I'm so happy to be joined by him today. So it's time to talk to Zach MacLachlan, aka Mac Glocky. Let's go.
Things are gonna change, I can feel it.
If this gonna be that kind of party, I'm gonna...
Waterproof Records. Waterproof Records. Waterproof Records with Jacob Gibbons.
Okay, welcome back. I'm here to tell you about DistroKid because DistroKid sponsors the show and they give me a link to give to you, distrokid.com/VIP/waterproof. If you enter that in, you get 30% off when you upload your music. So make sure you're using my special link, distrokid.com/VIP/waterproof. Save yourself 30% off. Make sure you're uploading your music to the world. There's no reason you should let it just collect dust on a hard drive somewhere. The world should hear what it is that you have to offer, and you could save some money while doing it. All right, it's time to welcome our guest.
Are we Gucci?
I think we're Gucci.
Okay.
We are Gucci. Welcome back to Waterproof Records, Mlocky.
Hello. How are you, dude?
Great.
It's great to see you.
I know. It's been 4 years. 4 years. And last time it was a Zoom interview.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was a Zoom interview
Yeah.
at my mom's house.
Was it?
That was the first podcast I ever did.
Mine?
It was, yeah.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
What an honor. Holy hell. That's amazing. Yeah, and back then, I don't think you were not that close to me, right? Were you still up in Sacramento at the time?
Yeah, I was kind of in between areas at that time.
Okay.
But yeah, I didn't move down here until like a year after that.
Yeah, I thought so.
But yeah, and then I've seen you at NAMM and stuff a few times, and yeah, I'm glad we finally were able to
100%
get this going. Yeah.
Yeah, man. When we saw each other at NAMM, I knew that there was a ticking clock with how much longer you would be within a couple hours away from me, right? Close enough. And when we were talking and I offered it to you, I was so glad because our time is almost done here, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah. When's that happening?
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
Yeah. Getting out of the military.
Yeah.
And yeah, moving to Nashville. Setting up out there.
Yeah.
I'm almost 30 and it'll be my first time in my own apartment on my own.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, cause I lived with my dad for a while in my early 20s, and then I joined the Corps, and I've been there for the past 5 years. Wow. And now I'm getting out, so yeah, it'll be my first time on my own, which I'm really stoked about.
I'm really stoked for you.
Yeah.
I think it's a game-changing moment. And so Nashville, first of all, I love that city.
Me too, yeah.
It is a cool city.
I love Nashville.
And it is a music maker's city. It really is. Like it is when you go up and down that street. Broadway.
Yeah, it's pretty insane, yeah.
It is. And for my audience that doesn't know the area very well, they have this main drag in Nashville. I mean, most of you probably know this, but they have this main drag and there's all these bars and they're stacked from floor to ceiling. We're talking sometimes 4 or 5 levels of these places where you go on the bottom level, there's a band playing. Then you go up a flight of stairs and there's a band playing. And then you go up a flight of stairs, there's a band playing. And it's all the way through. And every one of them are like fantastic,
Oh yeah.
skilled musicians oftentimes have screens and stuff on their mics that somebody can go play this song, and they go bring it up, and then and away they go.
Yeah, I have a buddy that plays bass down there. He does it full time, and I've watched him play, and it's insane the amount of for me playing, like, I need to have everything exactly what we're going to play. Don't steer away from that at all.
Yeah.
And if it's not like that, then I'm like very nervous and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But they just go out and do it, and it's like no problem. And they just can improvise and change it. And it's really impressive. Yeah. Really impressive community too, because they all talk to each other and like, oh, I can't play this show. Can someone fill in for me? Oh yeah, I got you. And they, fill somebody in. It's cool. It's really cool.
But I guarantee you're a talented musician, and I think that probably anybody who arrives in Nashville, that's like a skill that you gain the longer you're there. Being able to be quick on your feet, whether you're in a studio with somebody. Not that you'll necessarily need it, because you are an artist on your own, and I don't know what your plan is when you get there, but
yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not planning on playing on Broadway or anything.
Grinding.
It's not for me. Mm-hmm. I am planning on doing shows.
Yeah, for sure.
But it'll be like a Mac Glocky act at a venue. Like I'll do some originals and then like some songs from maybe my more popular videos.
Yeah.
And then just doing content full time. Like that's mainly what I'm going to be doing out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great city. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
And my place is really cool. I'm stoked.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, one of the most exciting reasons to having you back on the show is a lot changes in 4 years.
Yeah.
A lot changes.
Yeah.
Because honestly, at that point in time, like you said, his first podcast, you were just getting momentum back in 2022. I mean, you'd had virality, and like we talked about we had talked about how on the show you had an account, you got it up to like 40,000, and then it was deleted.
Yeah.
And then you had to start over, and there was a little bit of this like intimidation of like, well, can I do it again? And it's disheartening. And then it goes. So we talked about that. And in those early days, for those who listened to the original episode, it was like, I'm talking to you because I'm like, oh, he did this Billy Corgan video, and everybody's sending it to me. And that's how we meet. I see your video. And back then it was like, you're got a great following. You're getting off the ground. Dude, you're huge. You're huge.
You're huge, baby.
You're huge, baby. You're huge. I wish I had a cigar right now. I'd be like, hey, baby, you're huge.
You're going to be a star.
You blew up in the coolest, best way, because since that time, that's why I had to have you back, because I was tired of people being like, have you seen this guy? Have you seen this guy? I'm like, yes. Yes. And when we took a picture at NAMM, I posted on the Facebook one, which my Facebook is like the last one to get a lot of my stuff. Mm-hmm. And a lot of those people were like, it's so great to see you two, worlds colliding. Like, so happy to see us together. And I was like, man, I got to have him back so that people know, like, we got history.
We have history.
We have history. I was there in the early days, dog. No, but I'm excited for you because I knew it. You're, first of all, what you do, and this is why it's so cool to have you back. Not only did your account and your following grow, and you started writing and producing music and your own songs you're putting out there, not to mention these amazing covers and variations you do, but another thing that has evolved a lot since then is AI. Yeah. And that wasn't even a part of our discussion 4 years ago. And now the thing I love about you is you're doing what people cheat with on AI. You know what I mean? You do what, and you do it naturally, and we get a chance to see you with your guitar and putting it all together. And I'm like, everybody needs to hold on to this, because that's the art form, is being able to take a song, do it in the style of somebody else, and not go, hey, type it in on a keyboard and just have it do it for you.
Yeah. And and everybody else that's, my peers, Anthony Vincent and all those guys that do the cover thing. Yeah, I mean, we take pride in what we do, and we've been musicians our whole lives.
Yeah.
and it's and I think for the most part, the majority of people very much appreciate that still.
I think so.
And yeah, man, it's like at the end of the day, it's like there's all sorts of new tools coming out for people to make stuff with. But with AI, it's just weird now because now people can make final products that aren't musicians, which is weird. And like that goes with any other art form. Yeah. It's a strange time for sure.
It really is.
To be doing content and anything creative. It's a weird time for it for sure. Yeah. It's crazy because that all started to really take off like right after that first episode.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's one of those things that I agree with you. I think that most people see through it and don't really, it can be novel or cute for a moment to have somebody be like, oh, here's a 1960s soul song version of Metallica or whatever those search results will yield for somebody. It can be cute or entertaining. But I got into this with Peanut a little bit because we were talking about Engine de Poitrine, and how that's been the phenomenon. Those guys are sick. Yeah, and those guys are sick. That it's kind of like a AI. It's like a fight against AI in some ways because it's so. It's just the way they look. The computer couldn't predict that, and then the sawing in new frets on his board and things like that. Yeah. Those are helping that, but I think that most people feel this kind of like to generative AI. I want to be specific because I'm not against AI tools for like finishing your workflow.
Sure, I'm not either.
Yeah, no, I don't think whenever we're talking about it, it's like AI has actually been a part of our lives for a lot longer than people know because it's been a part of our computers and systems in different ways, but it's like not intrusive and it's not something we pay attention to. Mm-hmm. But I'm specifically talking about, and you're specifically talking about generative, which is like, hey, create for me, computer, create, right? Whether it's art, literature, a script, or music. And I think that it was only interesting for a few moments in time. And then everybody was kind of like,
there's fatigue setting in for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I did a Q&A on my YouTube recently where I talked about that very thing. And I basically just said, it's just not impressive to me anymore. And I'm just kind of tired of seeing it. I just don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. If people have fun goofing around with it, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I don't really take it seriously.
Yeah, I don't either, and I think that's important because it's wild when even you say like I personally don't enjoy using it, and it makes me feel uncomfortable. And whenever
I've never used it, I've just never even been interested to try it.
Yeah, like, I've never used the music tools ever.
No, the music never. Like when the image stuff first started getting like available to everybody online just like for free. Mm-hmm. Me and my friends would like make goofy stuff with the image stuff, but like that's the only thing I've ever tried.
Same.
Everything else I've never tried it.
Same. I remember spending some time like making me a spaceman or making me a superhero. You know what I mean? Like it was like a kid playing with this. Oh, I can do make believe and I can see myself as, oh, look, I'm in 1800s. I'm a cowboy. Yeah. Like whatever. That was kind of how I played around with it. But music tools never. And honestly, we're in an era now where when you start mentioning this, and I won't make this whole episode about AI because it's like beating a dead horse. I'm just saying that whenever you even mention that you have issues or concerns with it, people can get kind of on the defense and they can be like, well, it is what it is. I've got to deal with it now. And I understand that to a point, but I feel like that humanity will prevail. Like the ability to have somebody develop a skill is just always going to be more interesting. Yeah. Like coming from a human being, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, and some people don't care about that and that's fine. But because some people are just like the end result is all that matters.
Yeah.
Which side note, I think is at least with the music art for sure. But the music side of it, most of the ones that I've heard, I don't think are that good.
Yeah.
I don't get why people are freaking out so much about it. But, the people that they just care about the end result and it doesn't matter to them that it's from a computer or not.
Yeah.
To me, it does.
Yeah.
And, the people that don't care about that, it's like, whatever. But I do. And I know a lot of people care.
A lot of people do.
And if the AI music was interesting, then I guess it would be more of an internal struggle in my head, but I don't really think any of them are that good. So I'm kind of just like, yeah, no shit, this is AI. It doesn't sound very good.
Right. And even if they get better at it, even if it like,
which they will, I'm sure they'll get better.
It's going to get smarter and it's going to be able to do things more advanced. But again, this is why I want to elevate your stuff. Not that you need much help being elevated. Jesus.
Oh, dude.
Come on.
Oh, stop. Oh, hush.
Oh, hush you silly goose.
Oh, hush.
No, so in preparation for you being here, Deftones vinyl is on display behind your head.
Perfect.
Because normally on the show, Waterproof Records, I ask what's the waterproof record, the one that changed your DNA, and your choice last time was Diamond Eyes.
Diamond Eyes.
Yes, the Deftones. So I know the Deftones is still reign supreme. Would you still, if I asked you the same Waterproof Records question, would you still stand by it?
Yeah, I mean, that album definitely was super important for me at that time in my life, and at that time in my musical journey.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, the guitar sounds on that thing blew my mind. They still do to this day.
Yeah.
And that guy too, I loved a lot for sure.
I loved it.
Their last couple albums I've liked, and that one when it came out, I was just like, yeah, they still got it, dude.
Same.
They
I had the
really
same
still got it.
feeling. Yeah, I had the same feeling on the several leading up to it. I liked aspects of it, but this really felt like kind of a triumphant return to from several albums before. Mm-hmm. It landed in my top 10 of last year. I was blown away by it. So they still got it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how popular they are now, dude.
Yeah.
They're touring arenas and shit now. It's just like, wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
They are huge, and I think it has a lot to do with as we've seen, there's a resurgence of 90s and everybody who kind of looks back fondly at a pre-digital era, right? A iPhone, social media area. It's like everybody looks back and goes, oh, well, then that's when rock was really something, and that's when music was really something. And I don't necessarily think that's true, but it's because I think that people are still doing amazing, incredible art now. But I think that helps make all these acts that didn't get their due, they're getting it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're having kids on social media doing covers of Deftones or whatever, and it suddenly turns people's attention on them even more.
100%. Yeah.
Especially you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely a big reason why my content seems to connect with people.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of those bands that like were maybe popular for like 3 or 4 years back in the day.
Yeah.
And still have a fan base, but they're not, in the public eye much, at least like in the mainstream.
Yeah.
Or like with virality online or anything. So when people see me doing like Alien Ant Farm or something, they're like, "Oh my god, that band! I love that band. I remember them."
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and I love that music. Like that's my favorite kind of music, and it's easy to. I mean, and that certainly wasn't like a deliberate thing. Like there's this like. Gap in that sort of content that I can fill. Like I just did the shit that I love, and I'm glad that it connected with so many people. But yeah, it's insane how many bands and individual songs get a bunch of attention that maybe came out decades ago, and all of a sudden it's like the number one song because of a trend or something on like TikTok.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It is wild. And I think that's why it worked. Because you were doing what you really cared about. That's the secret sauce of, I mean, sure, people can land on whatever thing, but it is really like people can see a sincerity when you really truly like something in the videos that you make. And every time you're putting together something, when you're reading the comment and you're like, oh, all right. It's like you really do feel this sense of like you would be doing this anyway, like with friends. You would probably like find a joy and a kick out of seeing and challenging yourself. Like, could I take this pop song or whatever and do it in this style. It just seems like we're watching you do something you would have done anyway. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's necessarily true because it's a lot of work.
Well, it is a lot of work. I don't know if I would have grinded so hard doing it for so long. I'm glad that I did, and I had a great time, and it worked.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely just enjoyable to do, and there's been a lot of videos where I've made it, and it's just so fucking niche, and I'm just like, no one is gonna give a shit about this but me. Like I've done. What's one of the weird ones I've done? I did like Enter Shikari doing the Bad Touch with Bloodhound Gang. Like no one is gonna give a shit about this but me. And
lo and behold,
it didn't like explode or anything, but there definitely were people like that were like, oh my god, this is the niche content that I follow you for. And I'm like, all right, man. But it's like I genuinely just wanted to make it because I knew it'd be weird and but yeah, dude, it's been and I haven't been doing it for that long. It feels like I've been doing it for a really long time, but it's only been a few years, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy. And now that I'm going to be a free man pretty soon, I can really expand it into other things, which, you know, I'm really excited about.
I'm really excited about that for you. That's amazing. It's truly, you work very hard at it. It clearly takes a lot of time and energy to put those things together. Like on average, what would you put around the hours of you from the time you began recording to performing?
Some of them are more complicated. Definitely.
It's a tough question. People ask me that all the time.
I get asked this in like every fucking interview.
I know. And that's what I'm here for.
I feel like
that's what I'm here for, is to ask you the most basic fucking social media question that I get asked. Why did I ask him that? Do you know what, guys? I get asked that question too, and I always go like this. I'm like, well, it's different. Like if I do a video where I'm walking on the side of a mountain, or if I'm doing one in my house, it's different. It changes. I think I was just more curious. Okay, so the only reason I wanted to know is I'm a guitarist. I'm in a band. I like to record music. And sometimes I see your videos and I go, I'm going to record a cover. I'm going to do it. And then I see them and I'm like, God, it looks like it would take me a day and a half to get that done. Of like just being in my house. Yeah,
I mean, it's...
Don't answer it. Don't answer it. I don't want. You know what? I don't want to know anymore. It's moments past.
No, I mean, I think it's probably like 15 to 20 hours or so.
Jeez,
something like that.
So
it depends though. Like, cause some of them are like the ones that are like more straight up like garage rock, like Smashing Pumpkins or something.
Right.
Those tend to be faster because it's like, you know, I kind of write them, arrange them like as I'm recording them.
Yeah.
And for like Pumpkins, like that example, the vocals take the longest just because it's like a weird voice. I take a lot of takes trying to get like just the right take.
Yeah.
And the guitars are easy because, you know, you're just playing fucking rock and roll riffs.
Yeah.
But for something like the last one I did, which was MGMT doing Smells Like Teen Spirit, that one took a long time because I'm not super versed in like synths and like MIDI keyboards and stuff. And it took me like an hour just to get the arpeggiator to sync up with my DAW's tempo so that I could like record arpeggiated stuff.
Right.
And just that little thing took me forever because I'm like, why is it so fucking complicated?
Yeah.
So yeah, that one took a while just because I had to research stuff about synths, and I had a MIDI keyboard that I hadn't used in forever because I didn't really have a reason to use it, but I'm like, oh, well, I'm doing MGMT and they use a lot of synths, so I kind of have to use this.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, that one's probably more on the 20 hours side.
Yeah.
And you know, everything in between there.
Yeah. And so I mean, this is why I was dying to know, because it was for me personally, because of just making things and the time that goes into it. But also, it is kind of important to put it out there as something to tag onto our conversation about going into a computer and typing in, let's hear Britney Spears' Deftones, as opposed to somebody putting in 15 to 20 hours to actually record that. That's just right. You compare those two things together. Somebody works really hard to make something that you're going to listen to in a short form video, and the other person is taking this like, and I'm always like, let's pay attention to the to the ones who work hard.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's just not, I just have so much fatigue with it. I just don't care.
Yeah.
And my mom told me, like, you know, because I see people making stuff like that and, you know, it'll get a bunch of attention and it's like AI, and I feel like I'm competing with it sometimes. And then I put all this effort, and it's like, it's frustrating sometimes.
Of course.
And my mom just told me, like, just, who cares? Just do your thing. You got to where you are, just doing your thing. People watch you for you, and you have an audience. Like, just
Absolutely.
don't fucking worry about that stuff and just do your thing.
Agreed, Mom.
So,
Way to go,
so
Mom.
that's what I do.
Mom rules.
I just don't care about it anymore, man. And I don't throw shade at people that use it. I don't care, dude.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
Yeah. Me either. I've never made a video that's shaming anybody or like trying to say, you know, anything about that. And again, I don't mean to keep coming back to it, but it is very prevalent part of the conversation now. Like I would say,
it's a part of the conversation now. And I understand you bringing it up specifically with me just because of the type of stuff
exactly
that I make.
And when I talked to you in 2022, was not a part of the conversation. So it goes to show you that in 4 years, the landscape has completely changed. And like you said, it was about a year after you know, were on the show that then all of a sudden it's a major part of the conversation. But that being set aside, I want to talk more about how your life has changed for the better. I mean, obviously getting a large following is great, but are you finding doors opening for you and opportunities being presented to you for going after it for so long?
Yeah. I mean, I have been able to meet a lot of insane people.
Yeah.
Not insane people, but
no, they're insane.
Really,
I was at NAMM. They are insane people.
They're all, everyone's nuts over there. But I've met a lot of people that have reached out to me, and I've met at shows and have been invited to a lot of shows. That, you know, it's just like, you know, I went to Chevelle a little while ago, and Pete put me on the guest list.
Amazing.
I wanted to fucking hang out with them afterwards, but they were like, dude, we're tired. We got to go to the next city. Like, thanks for coming out. I'm like, it's all good. I get it. But
I get it.
Dude, like, it's one of my favorite bands of all time.
That's amazing.
I'm on the fucking guest list, dude.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I mean, stuff like that has been amazing. And, you know, the biggest thing for the future endeavors stuff is I'm writing with a band. Ooh. Which you met Charles at NAMM. I did. He plays bass.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were an established band. I won't say what they were called. But they had a singer, and they were getting some momentum. They were going on tour, doing cool things. They were signed. They had a couple album deal with a particular record label that's a, you know, pretty good label, and their singer left, and our managers, you know, I met my manager from doing the content stuff, and they were like, well, you know, you guys are looking for a singer, like Zach's looking for a band. And so for the past like almost year now, we've been just writing a bunch of songs, and you know, it's going really well. Hopefully we're going to sign with the same label that they were on. They know that we're working together. They know that they're working with me, and they're basically like, that's cool. Yeah. You know, we're definitely interested in hearing the music. But hopefully in the next year or so, that'll really get going. We're just writing a bunch of songs. I really want to be like, I really want the day to come where we all like, because people have asked me so many times, like, are you in a band? Do you play shows?
Sure.
And obviously I haven't done any of those things because I've been in the military. But I really am like, I want that day where we all sit down together and we're like, hey, we're a band and we're called this, and we're putting out a song, and we're going to play some shows, like, but we're just not at that point yet.
Yeah.
You know, we're just demoing things out and writing things.
Awesome.
But we're all the same age and we all get along, and the music we're writing is really great. I'm really excited. There's actually a song on there that's about AI.
Really?
Funny enough, not to bring it again back to AI.
No, we can't escape it.
We just can't escape it. It's everywhere.
I know.
But yeah, dude, that's been the that connection was definitely really cool, and I'm really excited to see where that goes.
Yeah.
It's been a really collaborative project. We don't have a name yet or anything.
I was going to ask, but I figured you'd offer it up if it was available.
We don't have a name. We were going to keep their band name, but we decided that, with me joining the band, like the music is a lot different now. There's remnants of their old sound in there, but, having a new singer is obviously going to change the sound a lot.
For sure.
And obviously I write songs, so I'm providing a different side to the music. And it's not like they were some giant band. Like they were, they were getting
just getting started.
They were getting some momentum, and they were doing some cool tours and stuff. So we decided we're just gonna have a new name. And so we have this whole list, like this, we're all on a shared notes list of all the band names. And dude, we've been working together for almost a year, and
naming a band is one of the most impossible things
especially
to do
nowadays.
Oh, for sure, because you're thinking about search, you're thinking about social media, you're thinking about words that are used. It is it was hard in 1995 to come up with a band name. I can't even imagine it now.
Oh, dude, it's like every time, there's ones people will throw out there, and maybe everyone else would be like, nah.
Yeah.
And then maybe there'll be one where one or two of us are like, oh, that's pretty cool. And we'll keep the list going. But it's happened every time.
Yeah.
Someone comes up with a name and we're all like, that's cool as fuck. Oh my God.
Yeah.
We go on Spotify and there's 10 of them. And
totally. It happens every time.
It's
man.
Impossible, dude.
It's so hard.
And it's and I've been the one that's kind of been like, dude, we just got to pick one.
Yeah.
We just got to pick one. And then people just, no, it's we'll find it, dude. We don't need to have one yet. Just give it time. We'll find one. And I'm just like, all right, dude.
I cannot express to my audience enough just how frustrating, if you've never played in a band with other people, when it comes time to naming it, just what a nightmare.
Oh, it's a nightmare.
Oh my
God.
Did you have bands in high school or middle school or when you were a kid? And if so, what was the band name?
Yeah.
I'm going for bad here. I'm searching for the ones that we did that you're like, oh.
Well, the first one I was in.
Let's go.
The first one I was in, I was 11 years old, and we were called 1011.
Yeah.
Because everybody else in the band was 10.
Yeah.
And I was 11. So naturally, we called ourselves 1011.
Done. Perfect.
And then the next one I was in was called Now Is Forever.
Yeah.
I was 13 or 14. Better, but still not great.
Yeah.
And then when I was in high school, I was in a band called Overwatch.
That's actually pretty cool, which is also a video game, right?
It was, yeah. And it was long before the video game.
Nice.
And even to this day, I'm like, that was a cool name.
Cool name.
And then the game came out, and it's actually really funny because the game's logo was kind of similar to ours.
Really?
So it's it was weird, but
makes you wonder if somebody involved in the gaming team saw something.
Definitely not.
Maybe we'll steal it.
Have you guys heard this band of high schoolers from Sacramento, California? Their logo's pretty sick. We should take that.
Pretty sick.
No, they didn't do that.
Oh yeah. I just want to create rumor mills to completely sabotage your band before you get mainstream.
Right.
Yeah.
I was in a band called Overwatch, and then that band turned into Control, which was the last band I was in. And that name was a huge mistake because not only is it's just the word control.
Yeah. So you have no control over it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm a father.
It's
I can't help it.
completely out of control, dude. Searching for it was hard, but there's a band that plays what's the word? Mariachi
like
traditional,
traditional
Spanish music, Mexican, whatever.
Sure.
That kind of music. And they're called Control, and they're gigantic.
Okay.
Like some of their songs have like 20 million streams, and we had no idea.
Wow.
So anytime we would upload stuff on like Spotify, it would always get lumped in with their stuff.
Yeah.
And we would always have to contact like support and be like, hey, we're a different band. Can you separate it?
Yeah.
And we just didn't do the research to realize that was already a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were a band for a few years. Yeah, we had, I won't say his name just in case he doesn't want me to put it out there, but we had Chi Chang's son was in our band for a little while.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Wow. That's amazing.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a cool worlds colliding that was for you.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't talked to him in a long time. But yeah, he was in the band for probably a couple of years.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Sacktown boys.
Sacktown
The
boys.
916.
The 916. Well, when we talked last time and Deftones, the band, they're not much for, jumping on like, what's up guys? Here I am on TikTok. That's not really their style, but I was wondering if in all your attention and following, have you gotten closer to connecting with them at all, seeing them at a show and talking with them in the band?
Nope.
Yeah.
I have not. I know that they're not like, they're like
That's
you
not
said,
their thing.
they're not really big social media people.
Right.
But some of a couple of the Deftones ones have gone pretty viral. I wouldn't be shocked if at least one of them has like seen one of them.
I'm sure they have.
But if they have, they've never, reposted or interacted with it in any way. If they ever did invite me to a show or something, that'd be fucking crazy. But yeah, they're like one of the bands that, I definitely would love it if that happened, but it just hasn't happened.
Yeah.
They're too cool, man. They're cool.
I know.
They're cool guys. They
Look,
got to be, they're cool.
That's the thing, is that there is a difference. Some of the guys that I grew up with, some of the bands that I grew up with, you can see them being like super open to coming and sitting here and talking to me on a show. And then there's others that it's like, I wouldn't even dream of thinking that they would entertain the idea of doing it. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not even going to pursue that, because you get a sense of a band's personality or an artist's personality. And you're like, yeah, I don't really see them jumping around on Instagram reels. So I don't think that they're going to probably be open to it, but I guess you never know.
Yeah. You never know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So that's cool. New band, new project coming out. Please keep me posted on that, because I definitely want to hear.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where it's like hurry up and wait kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like I want things with that to get rolling, but we're trying to write like 15 or 20 songs and then kind of narrow it down to an album.
Yeah.
And I think we're at like 10 or something right now.
Yeah.
And ideally that'll be just like kind of what I'm focusing on once that gets going. But yeah, dude, as soon as I got something to share, I will definitely be throwing that your way for sure.
Please do. And I know that I get to Nashville from time to time just for, work or music. And I will definitely hit you up when I'm in town. We can go out and hang.
Absolutely.
For sure. And I'm sure we'll probably keep seeing each other at those big enough events like the NAMMs and whatnot. Do you like going to NAMM?
I do, yeah.
I really do too.
I do. This last one definitely was like, I don't know. For whatever reason, I got tired a lot earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the video of me playing with Darren Miller.
I did.
From, CKY.
Yeah.
I was tired as fuck during that video. Because I was like, they were closing it on the last day. Yeah.
It was the end.
The security guys were like, guys, we gotta wrap this up. Like one of the guys in his band was like, dude, 5 more minutes. We're almost done.
Yeah.
So that was right at the very end, but I was so ready to just like go get Jack in the Box and just chill in the hotel room. Yeah. But, I ended up meeting up with Darren, and then, they were like, oh, well, we want to get like a video op with you guys like playing guitar. I'm like, I have to do that. Like, when am I going to do that again? Like, I have to do that. So, but yeah, I was like hanging on by a thread in that video. Yeah. But it was fun though. It was really fun. I met, you never know who you're going to run into. I ran into Mike Dirnt. That was fucking crazy.
So cool. He was doing like a meet and greet type thing. And then the fact that he's there, you can just run into these guys walking on the floor.
Yeah. He was like on his way to something. And I got off the escalator and I saw him like right here. And I was like, holy fuck, that's Mike Dirnt. Like, I have to say something. I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
Was he cool?
Yeah. I was like, hey, Mike. And then his security guys were like, I'm like, no, it's all good. No, sorry. I told him like, yeah, I do. I'm obviously a big fan. Like, I do like imitations of bands online. I've done Green Day a few times. I don't know if you've seen it. And he kind of gave me like maybe. I don't know if he was being nice. I have no idea. But, totally. But yeah, he just told me, he was like, yeah, man, just keep doing your thing. Like, you got a superpowered, bro. Remember that. Yeah. I was like, cool, dude. Yeah. Like, it was a really short interaction, but I really appreciated that he stopped to talk to me for a sec. That was really cool.
That's awesome.
But yeah, you never know who you're gonna run into.
You don't know. Yeah. And for my audience that doesn't know what NAMM is, I don't even know what the acronym stands for. Do you know?
I think it's National Association of Music Merchants or something. Merchandise or something.
National Association of Music Merchants.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's basically in Anaheim. So it's the most enormous convention center area. So it's just, you go in there and it's kind of hard to put into words how massive the space is, where you can see all these booths. But, for guys like us, we can kind of stick to the guitar, amps and pedals. I don't need to get over to the woodwinds.
Yeah, I don't need to go to the trombone section.
Yeah. I mean, occasionally I'll go over to like the DJ area because there's like cool like lights and speakers and sound equipment and stuff like that, or microphones. But for the most part, you can stay in the same area. But it is so fun. My funny one from this year. So I like going to NAMM a lot. I don't have, I need to be making more videos of me playing. I do play in a band. I play in a cover band, but I just, so much of what I've set up is just me being an idiot. So people seem to like that more than if I'm playing something. So, but when I go to NAMM, I'm a fanboy. I'm a guitar playing fanboy, and you always see the shredders, the guys that I grew up with. And so I'm walking. So first off, I see, I'm walking by the orange booth, orange amp booth. And I see this dude's head down like this, and he's just ripping. And I see that gray streak, and I'm like, I have seen that gray streak since I was a kid. That is Alex Skolnick from Testament, because he has had that like white line in his hair since he was, back in the 90s. And so I was like, that's Alex Skolnick right there. And it's like, he's like the Cruella de Vil of like, and so I walked over, and then right when he was done, people started coming up for pictures, and I kind of hung back because, we know what that's like. It can be weird. It can be awkward. But I stood there for a second and I was like, dude, I did a Testament video, which he not only liked, but he commented on it. So I thought I was in the clear for like referencing the video.
Oh.
I walk up to him to take the picture and I go, I'm Jacob. I'm the one who did the Testament Souls of Black video. And he goes, dude, there's a lot of videos. And I was like,
ego just
just dawned on me. It dawned on me that in that moment, of course, like, why would I think of the thousands of things that Testament is tagged in or referenced to every day for his world,
so funny,
that I would think that he would just like absolutely remember me and my dumbass face. Now, the good news is he was nice. And in a couple weeks, I believe I'm a guest on like a podcast thing, and he's like my co-panel. So I get to finally.
There you go.
I get to.
You've broken the ice.
I've broken the ice.
There you go. That's perfect.
So now I can talk about it.
That's great.
And then my other funny moment was I'm walking just in the main lobby area, and Nuno Betancourt is like walking towards me like this with his daughters, but I don't see him until literally he's like right here passing in front of me, and like a total dweeb, I gasped and went, Nuno. Dude, like I like 12-year-old Jacob was like, Nuno, like that. And he goes, hey man, like that. And I just like, I was like, such a big fan. And he like walked on. And then after he walked past, I was like, why wouldn't I get a picture with him? So I just kind of like walked back, chased after him. I was like, is it cool if we get a picture? He's like, yeah, man, come here, whatever. And I was like, there's something about NAMM and there's something about being around amazing guitar players, because when I was a kid, when I was, got my first guitar when I was 12 or 13, I got Guitar Magazine, guitar players, and, with all the tablature, and you had these dudes, Eric Johnson, Steve Vai, Yngwie Malmsteen, Joe Satriani. I mean, the list goes on. And when you go to NAMM, the likelihood that you're going to see one of these guys is pretty high. Yeah. And I, as the childhood Jacob, was just like, oh my God. Yeah. It's more so than the cool guys that I have met. It's more, those guys seem like titans on top of a mountain, like soloing,
absolutely.
Yeah. And all my memories of them were when I was really young, really, really young. So anyway, but that was my hilarious.
That's so funny, dude. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. But yeah, I do love going. So I'll definitely be there next year. So I hope you'll be as well.
I'm sure I'll be there next year. Yeah.
I mean, it's harder obviously because it's not,
I'm going to be farther away. Yeah. But I mean, it's a good time. And like, that's like where I see, like Anthony Vincent always goes, and we're good friends. And Steve, Steve comes out for that too. I don't know if Steve's going to be the next one. I hope he is.
I hope so too. I love that guy.
Yeah,
I love
Steve
that
Walsh. He's another creator. He does the same kind of thing that I do, like the imitating bands sort of thing. But yeah, I love Steve. I do hope he goes next year, but. Because he's in Australia.
He's in Australia. Every time I see him there, I'm like, you have to literally travel around the globe to get here. So hats off to you.
This last year, he was like, dude, we were just pooped. Like, we were just so, and you're pooped like every year, but for some reason this year, like in particular, it was just like,
it's too much.
I don't know what it was. Like, I was just a wreck the last day.
Well, and it's always in January, and that is an odd time because it's like you just got through the holidays. Usually most places are just kind of the momentum of getting your year going is just starting to go. And so you're kind of like, you get there and you walk all day long. Like you check your pedometer in your iPhones and you're like 22,000 steps.
Holy
it's
shit.
literally like you just walk nonstop. So it is really tiring, especially if you're, going all day and then you have events that go late into the night, whether you're hanging out watching bands or you're on a patio and you're having drinks with friends. I mean, it just adds up. It does every time.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the night, the night that we all were in the Hilton, like the big Hilton night. Yeah. That next day I was hungover as hell because I kept doing shots and stuff. And it's like,
it happens.
It happens. every year I'm like, okay, I'm not going to go crazy. But then it's like you run into someone new that from like online or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're not expecting to see them.
Totally.
And it turns into like, oh, well, let's get a beer.
You and me.
Like, oh, let's do a shot.
You and me, man. That's what happens.
And then all of a sudden it's midnight and you're hammered. And
we get stoked because we see each other and we're like, this is awesome. When are we going to be hanging again? You know, one of those years you and I were at
it's a good time.
Yeah. One of those years, not this last year, but it was 2 years ago. It's that one where we met up at the Marty Schwartz was playing at the Reverb shindig or whatever, and Corey Feldman came in. It was like, I mean, sometimes these events are just like, it's a blast. You're around the coolest, most.
I ran into him too. Feldman. Yeah, I was walking to meet up with somebody, and I walked by him, and my mom's like a huge 80s movie fan. Yeah, and I was like, I have to take a picture for my mom, and he was on his way somewhere, and his guy that was with him was like, we got to go. I was like, 2 seconds. I pulled out my phone and then he walked away. I didn't talk to him at all. Yeah, it was really quick. I literally just did it because I wanted to send it to my mom.
It's for your mom.
But yeah, that was just another person that I ran into. But
so much has changed. You have a big following now, and going to Nashville. You have a career, a band coming. I'm really excited to see what you're going to do now that you're leaving the military, and you'll have so much more of your time to do this as much as you want. My interest is, do you think that you will still want to do what it is that you do now, or like on social media with these songs, or do you feel like you want to transition away from it, or do you still feel inspired to do it?
So the way that I look at it is, it's a fun hobby that I've turned into a job, which is great. And I'd certainly rather do that than anything else I've done as a job.
Right.
But you know, it's not my goal. And I've been very open about this, like with my audience, like on my YouTube and stuff. You know, it's not my goal. It never was. My goal has always been, the way that I'm most fulfilled is like being in a band and playing shows, like making my own music. Once this band gets going, it's like, if we're hitting the road all the time and doing all that, like, you know, hopefully I can do that for as long as possible. But I want it to be like, I don't think I'm ever going to stop doing like the covers and stuff, but I want to make it something that I can do when I am really inspired to make like a certain kind of video.
Yeah.
And it's something that I can do that's fun, that, you know, I don't want it to be like my main thing.
Sure.
Like right now it's my main thing, and that's fine. And it's a fun hobby that I've turned into a job, but I don't want it to be the main thing. I want it to just be kind of something I can do for fun.
Yeah.
Maybe for like extra money, whatever. Keep my name out there kind of thing. I want the band to turn into what I'm, you know, doing full time, and ultimately, like, I want to be taken seriously as a songwriter. You know, I don't want to just be like the dude that makes the silly covers, you know.
I get it.
And you know, maybe there's some ego there, but I also just, like, I've been a songwriter my whole life, you know. I never, 5 years ago, you know, I never thought that I'd be making covers online full time. And you know, and I've connected with a lot of people, and it's been amazing, but you know, I have to be honest, like, it's not something that I'm, you know, I don't want to be doing it full time in 5 years.
Sure.
You know,
I don't think you will be, because I mean, honestly, what we've done in this era that we're in, which is a very strange time, is these are like these launching pads, right? You just kind of like create this universe, this world that people enjoy going into. And I think that honestly, look, my reaction videos, I don't do those all the time like I did in the early days. I do them few and far between, because honestly, it's hard for me to justify a really intense, strong reaction to a piece of music that many times, because there's only so many songs in my life that absolutely melt my dick off.
yeah.
So it is, there's more to go that I haven't done, and I will do them. But I think that over time, people start to see you as who you are and not the thing that you do. And they're kind of on board for what Zach is going to do. You know what I mean? Like where you're headed next. So I like to believe that putting your time and your energy in the band and in the music and in songwriting, the ones that really get you and enjoy being around you will follow, and the songs will speak for themselves because you love it. Right? You love to do it. So it's a good thing. I'm stoked.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm stoked too. Speaking of which, I have a original song coming out.
Please. Yes. I was
April 25th.
Before we got out of here, I think that I'm pretty sure that this will air either right around that date. So April 25th, you have a song coming out.
Okay. Yeah, I do. It's called Under a Spell. There's going to be a music video with it. Yeah, April 25th.
Awesome. Where can everybody find you? Go ahead and share the places.
Yeah, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok at Mac Glocky, Spotify, all the streaming platforms. I have 7 cover albums, which is fucking crazy that I have 7 of them.
That is crazy.
I have 7 of them.
Oh my God, I did not even realize you've put that much out.
Yeah. I've done a lot of these fucking videos,
dude.
And then I'm like 5 songs away from the 8th one.
That is crazy.
Because I've done the first one I ever did was Def Style, which was all Deftones style, and then I've done 6 fantasy covers volumes, so 7 total. So the next one will be volume 7, which is fucking insane that I've done that many.
That is insane.
But yeah, I have like 4 or 5 original songs under my name. So yeah, I'm out there. I'm just look up Mac Glocky. You'll find it.
Okay.
Mac Glocky.
McGlacky.
Mackety glackety.
And then of course, once the band is out there, I'll make sure to be sharing that information as well.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man, I am so happy you made the drive and you came here. And honestly, if you are listening to this episode and you didn't catch him the first time, which was episode 26. So it's been about 74 episodes since that conversation. If he puts that into context. But if you didn't get a chance to listen to that conversation, or if you aren't familiar with what he does, absolutely, I will tag it in the bottom of the YouTube, and you should check it out because it is amazing. It's a cool thing to watch you do, like to see the mechanics of the guitar playing, the vocals, and the way that you break it down, the way that you light it and you do the cuts. And I'm sure you've gotten better at that over the years, perfecting it and figuring things out, and also putting these things together. It's probably, compared to how you did it 4 years ago, you probably are can do it a lot more quickly and know how to. There's
definitely I've definitely developed like a routine for certain things.
Yeah.
Some of them, I mean, you got to approach them differently for different bands, but yeah, it's definitely a lot easier to arrange now than it was. And there's just certain things that I always do, like routine with like certain things.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it's been a crazy journey. And
It sure has.
Really glad that we got to sit down.
Yeah, man. I'm so stoked. We got to do this in person. I'll see you in 4 years. We'll make it a cycle.
Yeah, dude.
Every 4 years.
It's gonna be like the Billie Eilish. Yeah, every 4 years. We'll
see how much changes after your life in Nashville, album, band, things coming out. Probably multiple albums by then with the new project. But anyway, dude, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, man.
And then probably next time I see you will probably be NAMM if you're there.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. It was so great to catch up, and it's really inspiring to see someone who works so hard, puts in the hours and the time to make something just sound absolutely amazing. Very, very thrilled to see all the good things happening in his life. All right, before I get out of here, I want to say thank you to Pantheon Podcast. Thank you, as always, for having me be a part of your awesome music podcast network. Thank you for helping more and more people to discover me every day, because I don't know if you guys know this, but Pantheon often runs like a little spot of my podcast on other people's podcasts so that they know to come check me out. And I definitely see the results over time. So I'm happy to be a part of everything. I also want to say again, don't forget to check out distrokid.com/VIP/waterproof and get 30% off your first year. This has been so fun. This was episode 101, my second guest in studio. Let's keep them coming. Keep them coming. I am having so much fun with these in-person interviews in my studio, but I do believe my next guest is going to be virtual because we tried to make it in person, but this is one of those ones that I wanted to make happen. So stay tuned for who's next on Waterproof Records, and I'll see you next time.
Things are gonna change. I can feel it.
If this gonna be that kind of party, I'm gonna